Okay, this little video is going to show you how to represent some of your code as structured English, which is another way of showing your processes, your subroutines within your system. Now this is particularly suitable because it's very Englishy. It's particularly suitable for those bits of code where really all you're doing is setting values. So that's creating a background, creating a sprite, because most of the sprite code that you've got is just setting a load of values. Alright, so there's no point in trying to do pseudocode or flowcharts for these because they'll just look crap. Okay, to be honest. So first off I'm gonna have a go at doing this title background. So turning this into a piece of structured English. So got my Word document ready, so I'm going to start off with my title. Structured English for title background. Okay, now I'm going to just start it off, and again, just like in the other examples, you must use the name. So I've got TS space background, so I must use that name. Now I'm going to have to do a little bit of flicking backwards and forwards here. Let's see if I can just move that across. Because I need to be able to read this, and it's quite wide. So I'm just going to start off, and I'm going to say, right, let's have a look. What does this first line do? So what this first line does, it actually sets the size of the tile sheet. So my tile sheet TS space background, using this code, is set to the same size as the texture title space. So in structured English, that's what I write. So I'm going to say set TS space background, using the correct name, to the size of texture TX title space. That's all it does. You might find that if you've got a really wide one, you might have physically said what the size was going to be. Okay, so that's what that first line does. The next line just says use the texture. This line, it says use the texture TX title space and put it on the background at 0, 0. And again, that's what I'm going to say. So I'm going to say place TX title space on TS space background at 0, 0. That's what it's doing. Again, we got this thing about all the spacing, so I'm just going to highlight all this and set it to no spacing, otherwise it gets really annoying. Okay, let's put that back. Okay, the next line just says what the visible area of the tile sheet should be, and it's res, which is the screen resolution. So I'm just going to say set visible area of TS space background to screen resolution. Now what this design code and all this is about isn't about saying exactly how you solve it. It's just telling a programmer what you want to happen. So if there's a specific way of setting the screen resolution, it's up to the programmer to actually do that. Okay. And my next line on this says ignore the viewport. That's important if you've got background elements that you don't want to actually move if you start moving the viewport around. So in my example, I had this set. So I'm going to say TS space background ignore viewport. And you can see this is nothing like this. If you've looked at the pseudocode video, this is nothing like it. So I'm going to put that. And then the last line is the line that does the adding it as a background layer. So we're just going to say add TS space background to layer manager as a background layer. Okay, as simple as that. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this paragraph and I'm going to set an outside border on it just to keep it separate from my text. What you could also do you could make bold all the named things, just so they stand out. Just something to highlight that to the examiner. Okay, so the structured English ones will be just boring old lists. You could number them if you wanted to, it doesn't matter, but as simple as that. Okay.